Hello again. I'm a nice guy. I always talk about in my reviews. If you've followed me at all, and you look at my reviews, you see I skew nice. I generally grade films pretty well. I know there are some films where maybe you and I don't agree on things, where I like something and you don't like it, or I don't like something and you like it. But I'm a nice guy when it comes to films that critics usually blast. I don't care if I match up with other critics or IMDb scores or Metacritic scores or anything. But my God, Roland Emmerich. Roland Emmerich is really trying. He's trying my patience. I don't even know what to do with this review, because if I talk about this movie at all, it's going to spoil it, because this movie is so profoundly idiotic. It goes off in such a bizarre direction that I guarantee you nobody who looked at Moonfall and was like, oh, I bet this is how the movie ends. No one did that. No one thought of that. If you look at the trailers, if you watch the trailers, I don't know, maybe you get somewhat close to it. But I don't even know. I don't know how Roland Emmerich got to this ending. I'm a blind film critic, so yeah, I know what Roland Emmerich does. I know we don't go to Roland Emmerich movies for the plot and the characters and the writing and the script. I know we go for apocalypse porn, where he likes to, destroy things. And, if he can get I don't know, like an avalanche onto the Great Wall of China, or like an earthquake that swallows up, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, or whatever. If he can do any of those things, he'll do it. This is, this is the dude with that famous shot of the White House blowing up in Independence Day. He absolutely loves to destroy things that everybody can recognize. And he just makes films so that he can use an insane amount of special effects. But he can't retread. So once he's done something, once he's found a way to end all time to have an apocalypse, he has to find a new way to have an apocalypse. So he just keeps finding new ways to create apocalypses over and over and over. Now, to be fair, he also did The Patriot, which, if you really want to see what Roland Emmerich is capable of when he's not trying to blow the world up, it's a very good film. I like The Patriot. Surprise. I liked The Patriot. I think it has some really good beats in it. But, and I love Independence Day. Honestly, it's one of my favorite films. It's super fun. I can watch that whenever. It's a great popcorn flick. It's amazing. It's just endlessly fun. Welcome to Earth, Kick the Tires and Light the Fires. I mean, it's so quotable. It came out at the right time. It's one of the rare films I actually can say I saw twice in theaters. So it's not that I don't like Roland Emmerich. And I enjoyed Day After Tomorrow enough. It's somewhere in my DVD collection. Don't ask me to find it. I don't know where they are. But it's somewhere. But then he slowly started making stuff like 2012 and Geostorm, and it just got he wouldn't let up. He just keeps coming up with weirder and weirder. Geostorm was weird already, but Moonfall is on another level of what in the... I don't even know if he actually... Does he consult scientists? Is any of this remotely feasible? Or was this just some guy just went nuts? He read Battlefield Earth and he was like, I got this. He's just gonna make a film. I don't know, but maybe it looked cool in theaters. I have no idea. The studio, Lionsgate, they released this on people and they said, hey, we're going to release a movie that we spent over $100 million on that we know kind of sucks. Doesn't really have huge leads. I mean, Patrick Stewart and Halle Berry. I love Halle Berry, but it's 2022. if this was 20 years ago, she'd be a little bit more bankable, and she'd also have top billing over Patrick Wilson. So yeah, and then they're like, why did this movie bomb? I don't know. Why did you pay for this? Why did you buy this script? Why didn't you tell him to go back to the writing room? This script is so much garbage. I guess people just say yes to Roland Emmerich. They just, yeah. You want to do what? Sure. Done. I don't know how to talk about this film and not spoil it. First of all, this film has an ungodly amount of characters in it. Just like, just if you've ever had your patience tried as a blind person, trying to figure out who these people are and like following them throughout the whole film, good luck, because this one's got so many unnecessary characters in it. I mean, they just create characters upon characters upon characters. And unlike other films where they do that so that like people can die and we can get like really emotional about it, like most of them don't. Like really, most of them just either appear in scenes and then we like never get to see them die later on, or we just like assume they die because like lots of people are dying or something. But no, he doesn't really do that. This isn't like a horror movie where he introduces a bunch of cannon fodder. He just has a whole bunch of characters coming in and out of the film that are not really important or integral to the plot. A lot of people with families and kids so that kids can go off and do their own thing, just, you know, because that's a recurring theme in his movies. Remember in Independence Day when Randy Quaid's kids were like, they were like trying to do their thing and trying to be a part of the storyline. And we kept cutting over to Randy Quaid's family. Well, we got kids in this one too. And they have like a plot. Anyway, the movie opens with, we have astronauts in space and there's this event that happens, and then we cut and nobody believes the main astronaut that was in charge, and they're trying to do like a cover up, and then we leap further forward in time and we find this nerdy scientist who's not really a scientist. He didn't get a doctorate degree, but this guy that actually, this rando, manages to find out, he's the one that finds out that the moon is, its orbit is changing and it's coming closer to Earth. And he has a lot of thoughts about that. There's something about it being like a super something, and I literally can't with this movie. I can't describe it. Like, I'm sitting here trying to go through it, and it's just every time I say something, it gets even worse. It's some like super satellite thing. He goes into this thing about it being exactly 400, and it's 400 from the sun, the moon's 400 from, and that's how it's all perfect and how life was able to create on Earth, and it's how does something like that happen. And so that's when you start hearing like alien talk, and it's an alien conspiracy, and that the moon even exists in the first place, you know, and you're like, okay, well, that's just crazy. So we're going to move away from crazy guy and crazy talk. But no, crazy guy stays in the film and becomes a lead character and just keeps moving forward with things, and alerts NASA to, to the moon's orbit changing. Some random dude who's like, he has to like take a break from his, like, I don't know, fast food job or something. I don't even know where he worked. To like call NASA, and he calls the gift shop and gets patched in. It's so stupid. I really do try to enjoy these movies. Like, I sit down and I enjoy Adam Sandler movies. I'm not the person who like watches The Power of the Dog and then goes and watches Moonfall and expects them to be on the same level or even grades them at the same level. Like, The Power of the Dog, if it worked for what it was trying to do, could get an A from me. And then in the same breath, Moonfall could get an A from me if it succeeds at what it's trying to do. In the genre that it's trying to be, Does it do what it's supposed to? Is it good for its genre, for its audience? Because people should be able to differentiate between genres. We have to be able to have, you know, these indie dramas that get A's. We have to be able to have horror movies that are A-level horror movies. We have to have comedies that are A-level comedies. We have to have action movies. There have to be A-level movies across all genres. So just because Nomadland wins Best Picture doesn't mean technically something like Moonfall couldn't also have, you know, the top grade be an A grade film from me. For, you know, for its genre, for what it's trying to do, that I couldn't say, hey, I've been endlessly entertained by this film. You know, I love Independence Day, and I think Saving Private Ryan's a great movie, but obviously one of those has a little bit more cinematic gravitas to it. Moonfall has nothing. There's nothing about Moonfall that I can actually come in and say, hey, let's give it a shot, because it's, you know, and I did that for Michael Bay recently with Ambulance. I came in and I said, hey, Ambulance is, if you just, for Michael Bay, if you just, you know, want to enjoy it, it's not bad. It's not terrible. Moonfall, I literally cannot, with this plot, I just cannot. And if I go any further and start spoiling it, nobody will watch this. If you told people what this film was about, nobody would watch it. Nobody would watch this film. They'd all be like, that's so stupid. That is the dumbest plot. Or they would watch it. They'd hate watch it. You know, they'd be like doing that like Mystery Science Theater stuff to the film. I can't wait for the CinemaSins for this. Like, the CinemaSins on this is going to be like 47 minutes long. It's going to be the most amazing thing ever. Because this film is terrible on every single level. There isn't good acting in this. Nobody is good. Donald Sutherland pops up in this. I was like, is that Donald Sutherland? He's in like 3 scenes. And I was like, how did they get him into this? You know, I haven't seen him in a while. Like, I think the last thing he did was that HBO limited series, The Undoing. I'm tracking him in my mind. I was like, I think that's the last time I've seen him. But, yeah, man, they got him in this. I don't understand. I don't understand this film. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And the film keeps getting weirder and worse. It's like they just keep digging a hole and they're like, we're here. What do we do? Keep digging down. Keep going. If we keep going, we'll eventually dig to China. It's like, no, you won't. We've proven that's impossible. You'll take it to, like, rock. And then even if you get through that, there's molten lava. You can't just dig to China. Like, we're going to do it. It's a Roland Emmerich movie. No, it's, oh my God. It's far more stupid than The Moon is Falling. I wish it was that simple. I wish this film was just something as simple as The Moon is Falling. I wish that was the complexity of this plot, because at least I could accept that. I could be like, well, it's called Moonfall and the moon is falling. So that's the plot. I mean, there isn't really like a great reason for the moon to be falling, except maybe it just gets tired and the gravity of the earth is pulling the moon in. No, it can't be that simple. It's got to be absolutely batshit crazy. So, yeah, so that's Moonfall. As far as audio description, I guess the audio description for this is fine. The truth is, blind people, visually impaired people of the world, let me tell you, Roland Emmerich does not make movies for us. He makes movies so that people can see things get blown up. If you're cool with that and you're willing to sit through this to enjoy a film that has, I don't know, it's a Sci-Fi Channel level plot, like Asylum, like it's one of the worst plots ever put to film. It's got some of the worst dialogue, some of the worst acting. I would love to say it's predictable, but actually it's not, because the film, you know, if you watch the first 5 minutes of the film, turn it off, and then see if you can guess the ending. Write it down, see if you guess the ending. I guarantee you won't. I promise you will not know how this movie ends. It is just, so far in left field. So I don't know what to do with this film. I wanted to take this film seriously. I went into this with completely with open thoughts. And I was like, well, at least I can check out the audio description. Audio description is great. I've forgotten the guy's name, and I'm like mid-video, but he's one of my favorite narrators, and oh God, unfortunately he gets stuck with some terrible films though. He was in Texas, he did Texas Chainsaw Massacre earlier this year, and while his narration made that film better, there's nothing you can do to save this film. He doesn't even seem excited. He seemed like he was into Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the violence. With this, he seems like he's annoyed that somebody asked him to narrate Moonfall. You know, it's just, I've heard his performances before, and he gets like really into it, and like he's great for action movies and horror movies. And for this, it was just like, he just straight narrated. There was nothing. There was no emphasis in his voice. There was nothing suggesting that he cared. It was just he clearly did not want to be narrating Moonfall. I don't know how else to say that. And I've heard him a bunch of times. This was obviously a different version of him. Either that or else he just wasn't feeling good the day he narrated this. So, but yeah, he is tuned out. He obviously was not crazy about the film either. I don't know that anybody could be. I'm sure the person who wrote the audio description was like, my God, I have to put that in. What is happening? Oh, this is definitely going to be a Razzie nominee at the end of the year. If this doesn't get nominated for worst film of the year at the Razzies, I will be shocked. I will be absolutely shocked if this doesn't get a nomination. I don't know how the year could move forward. Still, I'm still not going to give this film an F, because there's some parts of it that are that's so bad it's good part, where it's so stupid. There are these random like carjackers that keep showing up. Like I don't even know. I don't know how they keep showing up, because we find them once, and it's like, okay, so one time, cool, carjackers. I don't know why you need to exist at this point in the film and what you think you're going to gain out of life. But, like, the world is ending and you're out here just, like, trying to live the purge. But, the fact that we see them 2 more times in the film, like, they should have driven off and been in, there's no way that they would, there's no reason for them to continue to keep running into the main characters of the film. It's just not a thing. I can't. I'm sorry. I literally can't with this film. So maybe you can. I don't know. Tell me, did you like Moonfall? Please let me know in the comments. You know, I won't say that I liked Geostorm, but this made me appreciate Geostorm a little bit more. Even that film was a bit much. In terms of its plot, I'm scared of what Roland Emmerich would make next if somebody gave him $100 million. I don't even know what the plot of that next film would be. He's run out of ideas. I'm terrified of what his next film would be. It'd be so batshit crazy. I can't even think of it. I can't even come up with a plot of what Roland Emmerich's next movie might try to follow. Yeah, I can't with Moonfall, so I'm giving Moonfall a D. I love to be optimistic. I love to go in these films and try to be like, yes, this is going to be great. This is going to be amazing. And this film tried my patience at every step along the way. Every scene, every point in this film, I wanted to put my head up against a wall. I don't know. I don't know. Don't watch it. Watch something else, please. Let me know if you've seen it. Do we need to create like a therapy group for people who've seen Moonfall? Or was it like Sharknado for you? Like, did you, because it kind of was for me. That's what I'm saying. Like, it technically should be like an F, but like there are parts of it that kind of brought it up a little bit to like a little bit of a Sharknado. It's almost, and that's so bad it's good. It's almost there. He came so close. If he had realized how terrible the film was and took it a little less seriously than he did, we would almost have another Sharknado in our hands. And it could be brilliant that way, you know, but it's just not. It thinks it's good. And yeah. Anyway, give me a like, give me a subscribe, share with your friends, do what you gotta do. You know, you can check out my website, macthemovieguy.com, for more reviews. You can head over to the audio description project and find out what movies have audio description and where they are. And you can head over to the adna.org if you want to know who these narrators are, like the guy whose name I forgot. While, you know, I look at it before the review starts, and once the review gets going, it's gone. And these are all one takes. So, yeah, so you can look it up. And see what else he's done, because he's a really good narrator. And until next time, just y'all be careful out there, because the moon's got some stuff going on that you don't know about. Okay, but Roland Emmerich, he's on it. He knows. He's got you.